Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hivemind Recap Podcast. This is the true ending to the year of 2021, our final 2021 recap. It is the December recap. We've already recorded all of our end-of-year awards episodes, but there's some other stuff that was released in the month of December that we want to talk about, and that is what this episode is for. As per usual, I'm here with my three pals, Justin, Derek, and Jacob. How we all feeling tonight?
I'm sick again.
I'm tired.
Jacob,
No.
you sick too?
No, I'm not actually.
Oh.
But
you said you
there
were.
is a viewer in the chat.
Oh, let's go.
Wait,
Oh, it's Metalcore. Yo, shout outs. Love that
Oh my
guy.
God.
He sent me a lot of bands in my Twitter DMs. What a king. Shout out him.
Yeah, make sure.
That was
if
like
you're
the
watching this
easiest
after,
self-promotion
come to the- exactly
like ever this guy
Come
got.
to the come to the live
Holy
stream.
shit.
He's actually, real quick, my Twitter, I don't know if y'all have noticed this recently or if it's just a me thing, but my Twitter's been like really slow. Mobile Twitter, I mean. But I'm trying to find his Twitter because he does like really cool art. He's like really talented. Hold on. It's at Paskey, Paskee, Wusky, Wusky. It is. It's really neat. It's really neat. It's not like
Shoutouts.
my style. It's kind of like when we get bands on here where I'm like, I don't really like the song as much, but I can appreciate the musicianship. That's how I am. You know, it's not my art style, but homie's hella talented. Definitely check him out.
All
Anyways,
right.
we got December to talk
We
about.
do.
I feel like
December is
we've
the
got a lot
enigma.
of smaller.
December is the enigma month of the year because it's like you're wrapping up for end of year award season, and like there's a bunch of other releases that are coming out. So it's not like the year. It's like there's other stuff coming out, but it just feels like a weird month for new music to release. You know, like surely that's not just me, right?
No, I think the part of the problem is that we've all got our end of year stuff, and we're so focused on that rather than the new releases for the month that everything feels kind of like, oh yeah, this came out.
Yeah,
I just kind of didn't really spend as much time or pay as much attention to it. Obviously that was not the case for our albums this month, which,
True.
you know, but
Yeah. If you've never mind. Never mind. So yeah, if you're new here, you can follow us on social media at HiveMindRadio_ on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where we will do these monthly recaps live at the beginning of every month. You can interact with us in the chat and whatnot. Or you can follow us on Spotify to catch the edited episodes a few days after the live recording of them. But yeah, I feel like we've kind of already got our pre-discussion talk out the way. So do we want to jump into the music for the month of December? Any last comments before we go for it? All right. Starting out the month of December, we had Short Stack coming back with a brand new song called Love You Like I Used To.
But I don't love you like I used to. Maybe I got issues under my
This band was one of my favorite discoveries of 2021. They released 2 songs back to back in March and April, and both of them were fantastic, and then they just disappeared for the rest of the year. And I'm really upset about it because, like, if they didn't, there was a very, very strong chance that they were gonna be like one of my favorite. Like in our awards episodes, I was considering mentioning them as like one of my favorite bands I discovered this year. But they only dropped 2 songs up until this one came out, and it just didn't feel right. But I'm still really high on this band so many months later. I think this song doesn't have as much standout potential on its own. But I think it's going to serve a really nice purpose when the album comes out in February. So finally there's an album announcement. I was saying way back earlier in the year that, hey, Short Stack, top 10 album of 2021, maybe. And then they just disappeared off the face of the earth and I was left crying. But yeah, the album's finally coming out. Will it be a top 10 album of 2022? You'll have to wait another 12 months to figure that out.
Man, I wanted so desperately, and I thought it was building to it too because it had the electronic elements. I wanted like an EDM drop instead of a chorus. something maybe in the vein of like a Half Awake by Concrete Castles. Like I wanted
Yeah.
something like that, like a vibey melodic EDM drop to accompany, because it felt like going up to the chorus. There was a really nice build and it had the electronic elements, and I was like, damn, give me the drop. And then we never got the drop, and it made me sad. But I still think this is my favorite short stack song of all
I'd
the
like
ones
to
we've
see
talked
it.
about so far. Anyway,
Yeah, I feel like half of the singles we're talking about this month literally released the first week. And
yeah,
this is
yeah.
this song is one of the two of the first week that has actually stuck with me throughout the month. So it did something right for me. I'll say that much.
Man, I think we can move on to this new Fight the Fade single called Composure.
I'm fighting it right out my front door. So here we go again.
This is what,
They're
like
moving-
single number 6 or something like that? Number 5?
It's gotta be.
We're getting close
something
to another
ridiculous.
album from this band. It's not announced, but we got to be getting close to an album from them. And given that their last album was a top 10 album of 2020, I'm very curious to see where this goes. Because, I mean, this streak of singles they're on is... I don't know if it's living up to the same degree of In Love and Hope and Peace, but it's a lot of solid songs, and this is another really solid one to add to that list of strong singles that they've been releasing.
Mind
didn't
you,
really
two of the singles were on the Radium for the label,
Right.
because the label did like compilation albums.
Right, yeah. But either way, this is still multiple singles in for the year, so obviously they're building up to something.
Well,
Oh yeah, literally 6 singles and they've not missed
Yeah.
so well,
any
I'm
single one.
I'm looking at the EP right now, like the thing, because I thought I went and looked at their Spotify thing to see, like, oh, is this it? And I don't know if they've been doing this with all of them, but it looks like just the 10-track EP with these 5 songs and then the 5 instrumentals.
That's what I'm thinking, because they include the instrumentals with them all. So I think
Yeah.
this might literally just be the EP.
Is it?
But
is it-
but they advertised the single on its own, so who knows?
Until Fight the Fade themselves clear it up what the hell they're doing, we won't know, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I think this is my favorite out of all the singles, personally. I wish the chorus hit a little bit harder. This is another one we talked about it before, but I wanted a lot of songs this month to have like stronger choruses than they did, because I really like the instrumentals and the verses, and this is one of them that, like, I feel like the verses really outshine the chorus here, which I guess is a testament to how well they can hook me in with the verses, which is like usually it's the chorus that hooks me in, but Fight the Fade have managed to kind of do it the other way around, which is a testament to them as a band. But for my own sake, I wish that the chorus is stuck with me a little more than it did,
This song
I
to
love
me
the-
almost feels like a more rock version of the Short Stack song, because both of them have that very kind of like uplifting element, that uplifting like ambience to them, whereas Short Stack was a little bit more like acoustic pop rock-ish, whereas this is more like electronic rock influence but still has that uplifting mood. So I feel like both songs that we've talked about so far get across very similar purposes, just in different genres, and they both work in their own respective right.
I love the in like leading up to the final chorus where it's like that breath and then just it kind of bursts into the chorus. I really liked
Yeah.
that.
Fight the Fade are a sick band. They've been sick
Yeah.
for a while, so.
Much like Justin.
Villain of the Story are back with a brand new song called Losing Control.
Sometimes my mind takes me for a ride, just like I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
Jake, I want your thoughts on this, because I know that your rule of thumb with Villain of the Story has been the more uncleans, the more cleans, the better, right?
Yes.
So we've got a song here with mostly cleans. How are you feeling about it?
Yes.
Okay, elaborate.
Literally, the only thing I wrote down for this song is Queen vocals better than everything else. Just Queen vocals and a bunch of like arrows. That's all I have to say about this song. The more this band leans into their Queen vocals, the more I will instantly add to the playlist. That's all I'm saying. I do like that there was that, like, there are a couple of moments where they incorporate the unqueen elements, kind of more as an accent, but focusing on their Queen vocalist, who's incredibly talented, just works significantly more to my taste.
So, did they get a new clean vocalist? Because he sounds different.
I don't think so. He sounds pretty similar to me. He sounds like basically what I remember Villain of the Story sounding like.
Really?
I
'Cause-
thought the same a little bit, but I don't know if it was just like production choices or like mixing choices or what.
Because-
But
I like how he sounds like on Stuck is the one I can think of.
Yeah,
at the
Stuck is
moment,
my
but,
favorite song of theirs, bar none.
And he doesn't sound anything like that in my opinion. But
I don't know. I definitely
I
feel like it
yeah.
sounds like I remember them.
They signed on a this single was announcing they also got signed to a record label, and they signed to the same label as Being as an Ocean.
oh, okay. Let's see, where are we at? Out of Line Music. Okay.
And
Huh.
Novelist Sapphire.
Okay. Nice. Good for them. Good
Man,
for them.
it's wrong of me to say this is my least favorite Villain of the Story song, then, huh?
That's fine because this is the only one that matters.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I enjoy that Asking Alexandria, what's his name? Dennis Stoff, the black sound from them that they usually go for, and there's not really many other bands doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I will always be thankful for this band for dropping the cover of Nickelback's Someday. Well, I didn't realize it was a cover until like a year after I started listening to it, but it was one of the first tracks that I got into when I first started getting into like this genre of music. So, they've always hold a special place in my heart with their Nickelback cover.
I feel like Villain of the Story are forever going to split the Hivemind head in halves, where it's like whenever they lean into the Queen vocals, I'm gonna be like singing the praises, and whenever they do
Except,
whatever
like-
style that Jacob likes more, I'm not a fan of that style, and this band is always gonna split hairs between us.
Except like Stuck was really good. I don't
Yeah,
know
true.
how Derek and Justin felt about Stuck, but
It
I
wasn't
liked it.
my favorite song off of that. I think Breathe is, but that's kind of more like a chill, vibier, Just the Cleans, which is why I don't know. If it's a vibier track with Just the Cleans, I'm fine. When they're doing or going for more like energetic, I want them to lean more into the uncleans because I feel like they're
Mhm.
really good at it.
yeah.
This band for me is a lot, at least if I'm thinking of the right band, which I'm pretty sure I am. They sound like instrumentally like Bullet for My Valentine sometimes in terms of like solos and riffs and stuff like that. Like I don't know if I'm pulling that out of my ass or not, but I enjoy that this band takes like you mentioned too with that sound for the Black by Asking, that they take the sounds of bands that like I don't normally like that sound when the other band does it, but then they do it and I enjoy it. So I don't know, this feels a little almost not generic or like watered down. I don't know. I don't like not like it, but I feel like
Yeah.
the rest of their material all has something else to offer, whereas this is just kind of there, which is not what I want from a lead single. But I think that means that my expectations can only go up for if this is on anything, which I mean, if they signed a record deal, I would assume it is, but we'll see. And Whether I have dropped their newest single, In My Head.
Why even bother? This back and forth is exhausting. It's killing me softly, but I can't even blame.
Justin, it's one of your darlings are back.
It's also be considered Derek's too. We can share this
I-
child.
We can share it. We'll share it. Joint custody.
I more so associate them with you at this point.
Oh, okay.
But...
No, that's fine. I'm yeah, Jake. No.
Okay, maybe I never should have said anything. Maybe I should have stayed quiet.
Go fuck yourself. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. No, man, this is probably my favorite single, Justin. I don't know about you.
I'm agree on that.
I'm also.
This
gonna
is
agree.
vibe core. This is vibe core, bro.
This is my favorite Weather I.
Let's go. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Wait,
So-
guys, you ready for a blast from the past on this one?
Oh
This
boy.
band is better when they lean into their Queen's vocalist.
Whoa.
Now imagine me saying that,
Dude.
huh? Crazy
I
concept.
See-
don't think anybody has ever said that before.
See,
like-
they both can do cleans, and I want to see their uncleans vocalist do cleans more because the way he added to the song as well was really good, especially in the second verse. I think that was probably my favorite part.
Yeah. I agree too. There was one line. Hold on, I'm gonna listen to the song or that part of the song real quick to figure out the exact lyric, but it's right before the last chorus. Oh yeah, he goes. What he screams, "Why even bother?" Before that, there's like a jump fill, and then the chorus kicks in. It's so good. This reminds me a lot of something like a "Holding Me Down" by Picturesque. Where it's like-
that is a really good comparison.
It's vibe core. It's in my feels core. It's I will always love vibe core like this. It's almost in a sense what that I think it was 2019 Varsity EP sounded like. This reminds me a lot more of Varsity's older sound, and I mean we'll get into Varsity later, but no, this is really good. If whether I went in this direction for everything, I would not complain.
Yeah.
I love this.
Whether
think
I
it's
are on the
perfect.
verge of greatness for me, and this is just one step closer.
I think it's time to get a little bit sad, guys.
Let's get sad. Bring us into it.
Yeah.
Palisades have released a single named My Consequences. And this also came it came a few days earlier actually, the announcement of the departure of their vocalist, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm right on that? Yeah? Okay.
Don't let me burn. I tried. Now I'm lost. I'm never coming back. I cried.
So this is the last song with him on it, I'm guessing.
No, this has the new
No,
vocalist.
this has
This is a new.
Yeah.
Oh,
and don't quote me on it because I could be wrong, but I think that he's been doing backing vocals in the band for years anyway. Like he's not a new vocalist; he's just a member.
so he's kind of like a Aaron Pauli deal.
Yeah, maybe not quite as versatile and good, but yes. Allow me to restate how I love the instrumentals and I love the verses, but I do not like the vocal delivery on the chorus. And I think it's a little jarring because the verses, not that they're like upbeat and punchy, but the vocal delivery is more like smooth and vibey. And then you get to the chorus and it gets really rough. And it's kind of like how with Philip Strand, how I like all his vocals and then he hits his kind of upper register or falsetto or whatever, and it kind of falls off for me. That's how I feel when the vocalist gets into his like raspier side. But I like this as a lead single. I think it's a good display of like.
I think
hey,
it's a
we
good
still
comeback
got-
song.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think it feels like a very safe bet to come back with this song in a way. Where I don't feel like this is doing anything super outside of what I would expect from a Palisades song with a new vocalist, or with like a different main vocalist rather. But it didn't really stick with me all too much. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's lacking that moment that really makes me want to go back and put this song on repeat.
I need another single or so before I give my full opinion on how I think of the vocalist. I did like the song though. It just didn't remain repeatable for me for the most part.
We'll see. I know they tweeted out that they're in the studio, so the album's not done, unless it is, and they're recording an EP. But
No, I think we're getting an album this year.
yeah, which I'm fine with. I don't think that what was it? Erase the Pain from 2018 has like had the same staying power that some of their older albums have. So I'm hoping that they can take the time in the studio to give me something that will stick with me a little more than that 2018 album did. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see where it goes with their new old vocalist.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I really call it a smart marketing deal. Like, get all your attention by announcing that the vocalist left, then announce a song for like 2 days later. Pretty smart.
Yeah, make the best of a not so great situation.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not so great from our perspective. I'm pretty sure their vocalist left to pursue something else. Like I can't remember if it was like with his career or with his family or whatever. But I'm always down to get new music from a band once the vocalist leaves or once a key other member leaves, and at least like see how the band goes.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got the potential with this album. I'm curious. I'm intrigued.
Definitely a band to keep your eye on. If you weren't already on them, I mean, they've been around for a while, but
Yeah.
if you need a starting point to get into Palisades, this is a pretty good point to jump on board. Another band that's back is Noija with their brand new song "Take Your Love and Leave."
So just take your love and leave. Yeah, there's nothing that could take back what we've been. You're cutting me open.
Jacob, our children is home.
Yes, but it's
Don't
this
say it.
complicated
Don't-
situation.
Don't.
Oh boy.
Okay, this is okay.
I'm not
This
gonna sit
is
here
an
and let you talk
alright
back
song.
about
This is
my
an alright
child.
song. No, this is an alright song, but this is gonna sound so mean. I like it when Noia is more in the lyrics are more and the songs are more depressing.
I remember
And
you
the-
saying that.
Yeah,
I remember you saying that when it came out.
it sounds so bad, but I it's just the way I prefer them. It's
Noia,
like this is
stop
still a
making
good song.
Happy music challenge.
I don't think this is necessarily
No,
happy.
no.
Ma-
It's not.
Noia, make more depressed music like that 2020 album challenge.
No, I think I'm gonna echo that for the most part. This song compared to their 2020 album, I really think it's probably on the lower end if it like was included on the album. As something to come back to, like after having released their album, this being the first thing they release, I like it. It's a good easing point into the band. I hope that their next single, because what they did with the last album was they had Rebirth out for months, maybe a year, before they started releasing more singles for the album. The first single, forget the name. I'm blanking on it.
Wait, what are you looking for? Sorry.
Crawl Into My Skin, the first single for the actual album. When that came out, that was probably the best introduction you could get to Noia. We had the Uncleans, had their probably some of their best instrumentals for any of their singles. I don't think this is probably the best way to get into them. I think like this is a good easing point, but if you want
You've got it. I believe
the purest form of song. Sorry,
The Noia essential sound.
that's the essential. Thank you. I couldn't think of the right word. I would definitely recommend something off the last album. Maybe not even one of the singles. Maybe like Aching, Bleak. Bleak is also a good one. I just listening to this single made me go back and listen to that album again because I was smart for picking it as my 2020 top album.
Yes. Yeah.
Now,
for
on
those
the
who didn't know,
contrary-
Justin
oh, yeah,
and
actually.
I both had it as our number one of 2020. So
I also realized we both have shared songs in the same place 2 years in a row, and that's funny.
no.
Anyway, what I was gonna say. On the contrary, I think this is a top 3 Noia song for me. For a band
Okay.
that I have
I'm gonna
struggled
agree.
for a band that I have struggled to connect with outside of like Meaning to Your Pain, the chorus and melody of this song really stuck to me. The way that the vocal delivery on So Take Your Love and Leave before it kind of fades into the verses just really captured me, unlike a lot of other Noia songs from that 2020 album that like they were like one step away from hitting it for me and then it just like dropped the ball. for one reason or another. This song has everything that I want out of a Noija song, in all honesty. And once again, it's another song that leans more into the clean vocals, and I like it more. Wow, shocker.
I agree though that this band is better when they lean into cleans.
Hey, I'm not alone. Let's go.
Yeah, but this band is hella underrated. No one
True.
got like 60K.
I'm not even the
monthly
biggest
listeners.
fan of this band here. I'm like probably third. I'm definitely either third or fourth here, depending on Derek. But
Yeah, you're
this band
third.
is definitely very underrated for sure.
How is this band not signed yet?
They're
It's
not
crazy.
signed?
No, they're
They
still on
don't have-
Dreambound.
I'm still thinking about 60K, bro. That doesn't make sense. In my head, this band's got like 280,000 monthly listeners. Like their sound, it feels like they should be there. You know, they get the one that hits the Spotify playlist, and the rest are all like 500, 600K, and then, man,
Yeah, this
even as
is-
somebody who's not a huge fan of them, they definitely need more recognition. Like, it's not acceptable. All I know is there's some bands that we've talked about on here that have about a couple million monthly listeners, and they're nowhere near as good as this one. So,
escape the fate.
yeah, Black Veil Brides, whatever that
We
one
never
band
even
that won
discussed that
Eurovision
album.
was. It's good we didn't discuss it. It's fine. We don't need to.
Let's move on. Affiance are back with a brand new song called The Line.
Now, I continued my trend of I like the instrumentals and verses, but not the chorus with Noija. Here it's the opposite. The instrumentals here are fucking sick.
Oh yeah,
I think
this
that-
song is carried by the instrumentation.
Yeah, out of all the singles that we're going to talk about, except maybe one, this had my favorite instrumentation. And I really liked the chorus. I think that this song needs entirely unclean verses. I think that would save the song for me. Because the verses, it feels like there's this imbalance of the cleans and uncleans, I guess, that I can't really, there's no structure to it
Okay.
or no predictability. And so I was just kind of listening to it and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, chorus. And then I'm lost again, like that sort of thing. But I don't know. This overall is really good. It's got a lot of good elements.
The riffs in
I
this
want
song
to
are
see them.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
The guitar
Again,
work is like the instrumentation is the standout. The guitar work is the standout of the instrumentation.
yeah, just a phenomenally talented band. I'm not entirely sold, but I think I could be. I think they've with this. I haven't been paying much attention to Affiance before this. I guess I think we've
we
either
talked about them
talked
once
a couple,
before.
or you've shown a couple. But yeah, I'm now intrigued. They've hooked me in with the instrumentation alone. They gave me one song where I really, really fuck with the vocal delivery, and they've got me. I guess so. I'm on the verge. Justin, Jacob, y'all got any thoughts on this Affiance song?
I did not get to.
You guys pretty much said everything I was going to say on it.
Jacob, you
Now
would really
let's
like
move
the
on. Let's.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Hold
no,
on.
no, no, no.
Hold
Go
on.
for it, Justin,
No.
my king.
There's a reason why Justin has very little to say on this Affiance song, and it's because of this next song.
He
just
wants to get to it.
it.
Yup.
I may or may not have been obsessed with this last song. We're finally talking about this band after missing their first single in January last year. CANTERVICE with their sophomore single, The Machine.
We have lost our minds, keep it all inside. Don't say it, everything's so nice. When you fall in love.
I'm gonna sit back for a second and let you guys talk.
Give us like a minute or two to say our thoughts before you can spend the next 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I get it. I get it. So yeah, The Void, really solid debut single. The Machine, a fantastic follow-up. One of the first bands or musicians that I got into back when I was getting into like rock as a genre was Boostali, who like perfected like electronic rock in a way for me back in the day. And since then, he's kind of drifted into a different sound. And CANTERVICE is picking up where Bustale left off in 2018 for me. And I am extremely happy about it. It is electronic-influenced rock done just fantastically. Vocally, the instrumentation, just everything about the song is fantastic. When I mentioned at the top of the episode that Short Stack was like one of 2 songs of the first week that stuck with me, this was the second song that really stuck with me throughout the month.
Love to hear it.
I'm not entirely sold, but I could be. I think this reminds me a lot of, oh god, what was the name of that band that dropped that like 9-track EP last year? It was like a...
Bring Me the Horizon.
No. it's a Justin band, and it's got like a tan and gray cover on the front.
What?
I'm blanking, bro. I swear I'm gonna find this and then bring it up like 3 discussions down the line once I figured out what it is, but
You're just gonna remember this in the next time we talk
Yeah.
about CANTERVICE.
I'm gonna be here. It's gonna be like April, and I'll be like, guys, you'll never guess what I just remembered. But I say that in that I have nothing objectively to pick on with this. Like, I don't know why it's not entirely clicking with me, because it should and it's not, and I'm upset about it. But I really enjoy the instrumentation. I really enjoy the vocal delivery. I don't know what's wrong with me, and that's about all I can say.
Jacob, you have any thoughts on this one?
This is heavier than I would have expected Justin to like.
Yeah, good point.
To be like obsessed with, I mean. But is this a gimmick band?
No.
I'm looking at their bio, and it's like, freedom is an illusion.
I think so, because literally, if you look at the album art or the single cover art at the bottom, where it usually says "all rights reserved," it says in Roman numerals 2021, "all rights forfeited," and I found that fucking hilarious when I figured that out.
Oh, that's a neat little touch.
Their bio is just like, I don't know. It's really interesting.
So, I'm gonna give a little bit of background on this band because I did a little bit of research to figure out like where this band came from, because I had no idea. Turns out this is as far as I know, a 1-person like led band. Like the vocalist leads the band, and like sort of like a Paul Bartolome type thing.
Okay.
The vocalist's name is Robert Madlock. He is actually a YouTube cover artist, and this is basically his main project at this point. Is this band? He did a lot of covers of like Bring Me the Horizon, Starset. I think the most covers he's done is Bring Me, some of Bring Me songs. But when Void came out, I was really into that when that came out. So I went back, listened to a lot of his covers, could actually see like the very familiar kind of vocal delivery that this song actually gives. So when this song came out, it really resonated with me very well, especially with like the meaning of like, technology and like social media is basically corrupting people and like turning everyone to like, slaves to a screen, basically. And like this song in general, the instrumentation, the chorus, the fucking breakdown at the end is so good. Again, I didn't think I would like it, but it's heavy, done well. And I said this in a previous episode where I don't like heavy vocals for the sake of being heavy vocals. That's why you won't get me like listening to like a purely heavy band with only like the uncleans being like the chorus or maybe a verse. But in this point in general, like this is the quintessential what I would listen to. Derek just had it as epiphany.
Sorry, I typed in Discord because I didn't want to interrupt you. Justin, the band was Falset. It reminded me of Falset.
Yeah,
I think that's the band I'm thinking of.
makes
but-
sense. I think False had longer songs than this, but
Yeah, they did.
I
I mean,
can
this
see
is
it.
still a little over 4 minutes. It is pushing a little bit long. I mean, it's not that long, but
Jake was right when Justin was going to talk about this for 10 minutes.
Don't judge me.
I mean, it's not. It wouldn't be a first time.
Excuse me.
How
How about you talk
What you mean?
talk about this next single then?
I could have pulled the playlist back up.
Breathe
It's,
Atlantis have a brand new song called Earthquake.
No earthquake shakes my ground. I will get through the
You didn't just let me call Derek out on his shit.
Man,
Well, you got away
I
with
was
it.
looking. I was looking through Falsette's discography. They dropped a Motley Crue cover I didn't know about. I have to go listen to it.
So, Breathe Atlantis.
I've had enough of this sound change. Give me the old stuff
That's what I'm
back.
saying.
Okay, you got me at the Eddie Berg feature, but no, I'm done. This is yeah.
It's okay. All of these songs have been okay. I will say, I think as much as I praised Defiance for their instrumentation, this like melodic, chill down, I don't even know what to call it. The breakdown in this.
Yeah, it's
is
a really
probably-
weird breakdown, but it's really cool.
It's my favorite instrumental moment probably. Out of like everything we're gonna talk about. Or everything we're gonna talk about this month rather. I want the like soulful Soulmade era back for this band. And I don't know what it's going to take to get it, but everything's just kind of been okay. And that's not what I want from the band who dropped my like number 3 album of 2019.
Here's hoping that
And
we
I
at
love
least
that
get
sound
one
so much.
song on the upcoming album. Supposedly there's an album anyway for Breathe Atlantis. There has to be, right?
It's February, isn't it?
I
Did
don't
I, like,
remember. I don't remember an
imagine
album
that?
being announced for Breathe Atlantis. But this
I
is
could be
this is
tripping.
the 4th single, so it's got to be coming.
Wait, it's the 4th?
I think
Isn't
so.
it?
I think it's the
I thought it's
4th.
the 3rd.
I have literally no idea. It could
Overdrive, Savior,
be. Yes.
Earthquake.
No,
I
okay.
think there was one more.
Yeah, I thought there was one more too. What the?
Is this some sort of like Mandela effect
Yeah.
type thing? Is that what's going on here?
Oh,
Like,
no.
why did we both?
I'm looking at the Spotify page for Earthquake. There's nothing else here, so
Huh.
What
I just see
the-
those 3.
All right. Well, I stand corrected. My bad.
As do I.
That's on me.
I think this is my favorite
Now
of
you're
the 3
making me
singles, to
think
be
there's
honest. By
another
the way,
song.
I
What's
think this is my favorite of the 3 singles. I think I like this more than Overdrive and Savior.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
I think Overdrive has the best moment of the 3 songs with that breakdown, but I think overall Earthquake is the best song. The verses are fun, the chorus is solid. It's a really neat breakdown in this song. It's the closest to like an amazing complete package that we've gotten of the 3 singles, in my opinion.
Excuse me.
Nope, I agree.
Savior has Eddie Berg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your
That
point.
automatically makes it the
It-
best
it-
song.
Your
It
point.
does have Eddie Berg. That is a correct assessment.
Also,
Justin, help me.
what? The best help I'm gonna give you is their next single has Nico from Eskimo Cowboy.
That's why I
'Cause I'm
thought
an
there was
idiot.
4 singles.
Boy. Didn't
Cowboy.
we discuss this earlier?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
although-
I feel
There-
like we
That's why I said
this
I'm an
before.
idiot, because originally I said it was Cowboy, but no, it's Cowboy.
yeah, and,
Apparently
but now they're
changing
changing their name.
Yeah.
Wait, are they?
Yeah.
Since when?
I don't know.
Like
Recently.
a couple weeks ago.
Not long ago. Yeah.
They
I didn't
also
actually
released a
find out why,
song,
but
but we didn't put it in the playlist.
that's
I
true.
forgot
Was it
about
Pump
that.
It? Was it Pump It or is it a different song? Like, am I
No,
tripping?
I think it was Pump It.
Pump
I
It.
completely
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about that song.
Me too.
Man, all that to say, Breathe Atlantis. Please give me another song
So
like
much sidetracking.
give me another song like Addiction to the Worst. Please, I'm begging you. That's like a top 10 song of all time. I need more more soul, less uncleans. Please.
You
I'm
know what
begging
else
you.
we need a little bit less of?
Arf, 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 arf.
Get me out. Get me out. Get.
And Hearts Wake have dropped a new song
That's it.
called Dogma featuring Alpha Wolf. And is there anything more we need to say?
Dude, the Alpha Wolf feature is so good. Alpha Wolf is doing Alpha Wolf things and being fantastic at the top of their game as always, and In Heart's Wake still fucking blows, dude. Like this is just bad.
Okay.
In the House of Dogs!
Dude, get out of my ears.
I think. Dude, how come it's not cringy when Kublai Khan does it, but when In
Because
Heart's Wake
Kublai
does
Khan is good, bro. Fucking In Heart's Wake, dude. Caligula
In Heart's Wake
was-
aren't
was
all terrible.
terrible.
Hellbringer is a good song. Hellbringer is a
No,
top 20 song
it's
of
not.
2020.
Almost
It's
that song
not.
is the
You know what?
cringy lyric.
I'm gonna die on this hill. In Heart's Wake haven't been good in. When did Arc drop? 4 years, 5 years.
Earthwalker is still the best In Heart's Wakes.
Yes, exactly. I'm also partial to Arrow, which again, same way the Villain of a Story. Like that was one of my first songs that I got into when I was getting into scene music, and like, I want to like this band more than I do. The problem is that the Uncleans are almost always like super punchy. What's that one song off that last album? Time Bomb, I think. Where it's kind of like he's just aggressively telling you what
No,
the lyrics
it's-
are.
I was gonna
It's
say
it was the
Dystopia.
lead single. It's the lead single, World Wide Suicide. I'm sure you're talking, right?
Something like that. I don't know. It just feels like instead of being like yelled at me like melodically, I'm being told the lyrics in a very aggressive fashion.
It's like he really
And I
wants
hate it.
you to. It's like he really wants you to understand what he's saying.
Yeah,
he's
it's like he said it
enunciating.
normally the first time, and you went like, "What?" And he did it again, and now he's pissed, and he just wants you to understand. And it sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, the breakdown in this song is sick. The instrumentation's great. The Alpha Wolf feature's fantastic, but the In Heart's Wake aspect of this song, the vocal, I'm not fucking with it. Which is very.
Arf,
I
arf.
wish. I'm gonna Jake this one. I wish this band would just get rid of their uncleans and stick with cleans only.
Hey.
That has you give me a song like Arrow for 10 tracks on an album, I'm vibing. You give me 10
I'm
tracks
gonna
of
go have to
this,
hear that song. 'Cause I
and
still
there's
haven't gone
gonna
back
be
to anything whatever that album's called.
yeah, Kaliga, bro. I don't know. There's gonna be a worldwide suicide, except it's just me in my bedroom. This band continues to like put out music like this. I can't deal with it, man. I can't do it. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with the dogma. Now, with like the 7th single for this album cycle, are we fed up with As It Is, who have dropped another single for their upcoming album called In Threes?
Show my problems away. Misery, don't sleep. Dying to take back what it gave me.
Short answer, no. Long answer, well, kind of, but kind of not.
I
Alright,
didn't
so answer
point
that.
This
being,
was good.
point
I think-
being that this is my second favorite single that they have dropped coming into this album. But it is also like the 6th or 7th song that they have dropped coming into this album. And I'm left very mixed.
I think I'm not gonna mind that much because I haven't been too invested in any of the other singles. So when I hear the album as a whole, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I remember this. I remember this. I remember this word for word." Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just being honest. I did this with the last single too. I haven't listened to this just because I want to experience an album.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, there's one band that can get away with this, and it's Rain City Drive. They gave us like 7 really, really good songs for singles, so it's fine. But
And then backed it
after I
up.
was-
I'm gonna argue that that's why the album was lower than it
You're
needed
wrong.
to be.
No,
yeah, well,
I
that's
think-
on you. That's
You
not-
could have
never
given
listened to
me
the single.
Eye Opener and
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else
yeah,
as
whatever.
surprises.
Okay, it's okay. You're free to excuse that atrocity that you committed to your list as much as you want. It's all right. We'll forgive you.
hostile.
Yeah,
I forgive you.
can I get sidetracked for a moment?
Yo, no, what do you think we were just doing, bro?
I'm sidetracking even further because I think it's really funny how we all ripped Justin to shreds for having To Better Days as number 5, but Derek, we don't give a shit about Jacob having Eternal Blue as number 6.
I mean, I also didn't have it on my list.
Even on Justin's list, so you can't get mad at me.
Yeah,
so you
I
have to get
think
mad at him
that's the
again.
thing. We were all in such like incredible agreement that the fucking Rain City Drive was doing so well that I never expected it to not make like. And that's so when he was the
Right,
first one
okay.
to have it on his list, it felt whoever had it first on their list, like the first to go, and we discussed it was going to get torn to
Right,
shreds. Like
right.
it was just universal. Whereas Justin, despite being a known Spirit Box stan, didn't have it on his list. I don't know why. I thought
totally
for sure it was going to
spoiling
be
this
top
episode.
3. Yeah, wow.
I just wanted to Jacob to suffer.
You know, this is his villain arc.
And at Justin's number 0, we have Spirit Box Eternal Blue.
The Browning.
And at Justin's number 0, we have Spirit Box with Holy Roller.
Yeah, yeah, it's been the album, bro.
Anyway, back to this As It Is song. Part of I think this song is sick as fuck. It took me a bit to grow, but I don't know. There's a special atmosphere and ambience to this song that really fucking clicks with me. This very much sounds like a Grandson song if Grandson wasn't the vocalist. Just the instrumentation. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just very Grandson influenced in a way. It feels a little hollow at times, but there's enough substance to it to make it work. And the vocal delivery between the vocalist of As It Is and Set It Off, who featured on this song in the chorus.
I was going to say, in my limited knowledge of Set It Off, this sounds like a Set It Off song.
I actually think
I
it
could
sounds
be
more
totally
like
off
the
base, but from what I've heard of Set It Off,
maybe they're more recent stuff, but genuinely, like, this is like much different than either one of their bands has put out.
I'm gonna go out and say that this is a top 5 single of the month for me.
Oh,
whoa.
okay.
Hold
Fair
up.
enough. Now I'm interested. Again, haven't heard it. Might have to. When's the album coming out? It's the end of January, right?
February, I think.
All right. Yeah, I'll wait. I don't want to, but I will. I'm committed at this point.
All right.
What is also coming out in February, I think, as Jacob was about to say.
No. I was about to say, what would Justin say? What would Justin say when we found out To Better Days was his number 5?
I'm not giving you the satisfaction of this transition.
He said he
He's released
for
2
me.
new songs. What do you
I just
want
bully
from
me for 5 minutes, expect them to play along.
Suicide. What a
Wait, what? Can you
fuck-ass
Uh,
repeat
transition.
Yeah, can you repeat that? I don't think it picked up. I don't think your mic picked any of that up.
Oh, okay. Good. No, that's fine. Sure. Bad Omens have dropped 2 new singles called What Do You Want From Me and Artificial Suicide.
Can try artificial suicide. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Light Molotovs for the broken youth.
My bad. It was clear on my end. Dude, my mic peaks randomly. If I see the green circle come up, I assume it went through, so correct me if it doesn't.
I think it's because other people were talking
Yeah.
over you.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. No, it's
Myself
okay,
included.
really, guys.
So at this point, I think Bad Omens can do whatever the fuck they want to, and I'll enjoy it. I don't really care. Bad Omens released a new song. Right click, add to playlist.
This is true.
don't care.
Wait, so as far as I'm concerned, what do you want from me is like an intro to Artificial Suicide.
Yeah, kind of.
Do we have
But
a
it
track
still
listing that like confirms
Kind of
that?
works.
It is. There is a track list. I don't know if it is. I would assume it is, though. I think this is near the end of the album, if I remember correctly.
Interesting.
I can go check.
I mean, What Do You Want From Me is fine as a standalone, but the real standalone single is Artificial Suicide.
Which is okay.
Hold up.
What?
This is like the biggest mashup of 2021. This song,
What did we get?
Artificial Suicide.
Oh! I thought you meant like you were looking at the track listing
Yeah.
and there was some like four feature track. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Artificial Suicide is like the biggest mashup of like. It's literally got Doom soundtrack.
Okay.
The vocals from Hail to the Fire by Crystal Lake, the ooh ooh ah whatever.
Okay. Yep, I got you.
And you got Noah, who sounds exactly like Ollie Sykes in this song. I'm not even kidding. He literally sounds exactly
We're
like
circling
him.
back to the other. At first, he was like Landon Tours.
Yeah.
Now we've circled back to Ollie Sykes.
Dude, he literally sounds exactly like him. It's
He does.
crazy.
It's weird.
Just clean vocals anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Let's not gloss over the fact that What Do You Want From Me is literally just Clockwork by North Lane, but
Holy
rebranded.
shit, wait a minute.
Hold
Hold on. Processing. Hold on.
It is. It's that same repetitive electronic thing in the background, bro. I'm telling you.
Fucking right.
Yeah, but it's not the closer on the album. So it's
Yeah. North Lane's already got my vote for most disappointing album of the year, solely off that being the closer. I'm locking it in now.
Oh no.
Document has no albums on it, no answer superlatives, just that one. They get the distinct honor of being the first entry before I've even heard it. I think the problem for me with these singles is that they're not the death of Peace of Mind.
Yeah, that's kind of true, actually.
Like, I get the Death of Peace of Mind as a lead single, and I'm like, damn, this band can only go up from here. Like, this is crazy. And then I get these, and I'm just kind of like, like they're good. I might like them more in the context of the album.
No, Artificial Suicide is top 5 song of the month.
I don't fuck with it. Maybe it's 'cause
Artificial
it sounds
Suicide
like
is another
Sykes.
top 5 song of the month for me. Yeah.
You gotta remember, I don't really like Bring Me all that much. I'm anti Bring Me.
It's just the vocal.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like I don't like anything off That's the Spirit.
Okay.
Or Sempiternal for that matter. And so it's kind of like,
Okay.
That
Who is
one.
this guy? Why is he on this? Why is he
I
even
know.
the
Somebody
option
cut
to
his
speak?
mic. Somebody cut his mic.
Cut
It's
him
not even
off.
putting me behind a paywall anymore. It's just like, no, cut the mic. Like he's done. He lost talking privileges.
So, I want to make note of the vocal delivery on a specific part of Artificial Suicide. I think it's the chorus where it says, "Well, we're not gonna be a commodity, not another maggot in the feed that you're gonna eat, motherfucker. You can try Artificial Suicide." The vocal delivery on that piece is so fucking just like, I want to say it's fucking hype. Am I wrong? But like the way that Noah delivers those lines just sounds badass to me.
It is a hype ass song. I will give it that. As much as I'm not feeling it as much as Death of Peace of Mind.
There's enough of like peaks and valleys to make that part of the song specifically pop to me, and that's by far the standout from it. Whenever I get to that, I'm like insta headbanging, dude. It's so good, so good. I think we've
Also
touched enough on these.
there's the pause. It's like 5 seconds long. It's just like,
right,
is the song over? Is the song over? Nope.
No. and then they kind of fake you out at the end where it's like into the white noise, and then it cuts out halfway through delivering noise. I think that's cool too. Bad Omens are just such an awesome. They're just such a talented band. They're incredible.
Man, speaking of instant headbang, Varsity have dropped another single off their upcoming album called Closer.
I can't recall the things I said. Maybe the drinks got to my head. I wanna get closer. I wanna get closer. Maybe I should go home instead.
As far as I'm aware, this is going to be the last single before the album drops.
Should be. I hope it is.
I mean, it has to be because the album comes out later this month.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and say I think this is my second favorite of the 4 singles. I don't know, it's close. All 4 singles have been really good. Like, really good. It's hard for me to pick one as a favorite and, like, a least favorite because they're all just so consistently solid, you know? Varsity, once again, delivering on just post-hardcore as a genre.
I also want to mention that they were very smart with releasing these singles because all 4 of them are literally the first 4 tracks of the album. The last 7 or 8 tracks being all new stuff.
Down
And
for it.
the breakdown for this, they actually had a teaser of before announcing this album was the thing, and I really enjoyed it. So when getting to the song and finding that, I was like, oh, I recognize that. I remember that. I was very excited.
Yeah, the breakdown is pretty sick in this song.
I think it caught me really off guard. I didn't expect it to go like that hard because I'm eagerly anticipating the album solely because I don't think these singles have been better than anything off of Black. So I'm wondering how I'm gonna feel about it by the time all is said and done. I think this is probably my favorite single based solely off the breakdown, but I think that so I really, really liked Black when it dropped in 2019. And I thought that this band was very similar to I guess what Caskets is now, that they were dropping music at about the same time. And I both thought that they had a lot of potential to be really, really good and something that I could really get into. And instead, I feel like, at least for in my own personal view of them, they've kind of plateaued a little bit. Like I expected these closers to blow me away, or closers. I expected these songs to blow me away. More so than they would. Like I wanted the band to evolve in a little bit of a different way. I wanted this band to fill the issues-sized hole in my heart, and they haven't. And it makes me sad. I want them to. And I think it might just be a case of my own expectations were kind of unrealistic and being subverted, but we'll see. There's still a whole album, and I'm very excited to see if I can find something to latch on to more with those. But there's been moments in each of these singles that I've really enjoyed. I want to love a whole song. So I'm tentatively saying that's my goal for the album. If I get more than that, then I'm happy. We'll see.
Now, on the contrary, I really didn't care for the Black EP all that much. I was ready to kind of shrug off the band at that point, and then they drop Cloud City and blow me the fuck away. And then they drop all 4 of these singles for this album, and this band has been evolving at a steady rate for me, continually just getting better and better. And I'm super stoked to hear the full album. All 4 of these singles have been fantastic, and they've all had like a different element to them. Whereas the last song, Soul, was spaghetti western post-hardcore. You get the rap feature with Notions on Finesse. You get Sick, which is more just traditional post-hardcore, similar to Closer, I guess. But I don't know. I don't see a way in which this album isn't like a hit on every single song for me, based on these 4 singles.
Speaking of Varsity, Valiant Hearts have dropped a new single featuring Joey Tyler of Varsity called Karma.
That they did on the same day.
Justin, how feel? Go.
Valiant Hearts continue to keep being Valiant Hearts and being good. It's not like I'm trying to convince people. I might be. But no, I feel like this is better than Banshee. Just because I feel like I like Joey Tyler as a feature more than Survive Said the Prophet. But the song in general, I really like the atmosphere. I like the beginning part where it's the, keep it black or white, keep it day or night, where it's kind of like the atmospheric tone. I also like how it ends with that. I just like the general vibe of the song. I'm trying to think of what else.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think I was paying enough attention when this dropped because I didn't realize this dropped. And you sent that Valiant Hearts song in the Discord the other day, and I said I was just kind of doomed to only like Galleons. But I actually really like this.
Yes!
I think it has the potential to be the first Valiant Hearts song that I really, really enjoy and can stick with.
I'm waiting for the album to make this song quick for me. I need to hear this in the context of the full album for it to fully click with me. Because you can't combine Tom Byrne and Joey Tyler and
Right.
like those seems like two like almost unstoppable forces coming together, and somehow it hasn't clicked for me, and I'm really frustrated. Because that by all means that should work. So I just need to hear the full album at the end of the month, really.
We'll see. I wasn't excited for the album, but this has me interested. So maybe. We'll see. I'm gonna listen. And if you know what, if this is the only song I get off of it, I'll be happy because I think this is really good. But I know we're getting a Galleons album later this year too. So
Yeah, and I'm
for the what, third year in a row?
no, because they skipped 2019 because Metropolis came out early 2020.
Okay, so third year in a
Oh,
row.
yeah, so the third year in a row. Dog, we're in
Oh, yeah, third
2022
year.
now.
Oh yeah,
Did you say dog?
man, what's time?
Dude, stop! No. We're leaving that one in the past.
I'm also gonna say that Vertigo, their last single they're gonna have before the album comes out, we won't be able to talk about it on its own. I'm not gonna say everyone go listen to Vertigo when that comes out because that might be my favorite Valiant Hearts single from this album release.
We'll be talking about the full album next month, so stay tuned.
Yep.
One of Justin's babies, maybe his most prized baby, actually, or child, whatever you want to call it. I think Valiant Hearts.
I keep
Valiant
all
Hearts
my
is-
children's works on like the fridge, and Valiant Hearts is like near the top.
Man.
Noija just kind of hovers. Noija can do whatever the fuck they want, and they'll still make it there.
Justin, we got another one of your little small bands you've been into up next.
Yeah, so this is a band that I found through, I believe, my daily mixes. NVTURES GHOST with their sophomore release, Crashing.
Cause my world is crashing.
How you guys feeling about this?
This
It's
is
a song.
really good.
It's a Justin
yeah,
song.
Jacob, how are you
It's a
feeling?
Justin song.
It's a song.
Oh, okay. It's okay, Justin. You and me, buddy. This is really, really good.
Yes.
This is like what I wish all the small bands that show up on like Dreambound or my Daily Mix or whatever, my Discover Weekly would sound like. Like I feel like all too often you end up finding bands like this that feel like they're missing something and you want more from me. This has it. This is, we mentioned earlier with Weather Eye that it was kind of like vibecore, and this to me falls in that same category of almost like melancholic, wistful. Nostalgic's not quite the right word, but it's just good. It's a good vocal delivery. It does a good job of bringing you along. The song flows very well. It's you ask me to envision something while listening to the song, and it's just kind of like a constant loop of like waves crashing up against the shore. Not crashing, but like floating up, I guess. It's a very flowy, vibey song that plays well into itself. I can't pick out any one thing as fantastic, but everything is just so great that combined together, it's like, yeah, just let me put this on loop. It's not super harsh, it's not super jarring, it's mellow, but in an energetic way. I don't know why this clicked with me as much as it did, but I really, really like this.
Have you did you check out their debut single, Upside Down?
I did not. Would you say that it is better or not as good as this?
Crashing is better, but
Okay.
Upside Down is on like its own kind of playing field.
Say
Where
less,
I think both can kind of coexist because they have two different like sounding instrumentals.
It's getting in the queue, and I can listen to it while Jake talks about his next one here.
Hell
After we're
yeah.
done. At least I assume the next one's a Jake song. If it's anybody else,
Are
I'm
we ready
gonna
to
be a
move
little-
on? Justin, you got any more thoughts on this one?
Nah, I'm just glad I got one of you
Alrighty.
stalkers.
You've got me. What did you just call us? No. We're not glancing over this. Justin, what did you just call us?
So New Saviors with their single "Faking Fine."
I'm so lost.
Jake,
Do you want me to talk, or do we need to sort some shit out?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, so New Saviors are a small band out of Vermont that I've been aware. They dropped their debut EP in 2020, and it had a couple of alright songs, and I've kind of been following them since, and nothing has really stuck with me as much as this one did. I've been casually paying attention to them, and they're like, they have their moments. Every song has like a moment to shine. I think this is the first time that New Saviors have nailed a complete package of a song. It is also one of the few times where they have incorporated the male harsh vocals in their songs. Most of their songs are just the female clean vocals, which I still enjoy. And coming off of an episode where I've been consistently saying more clean vocals better, I think the unclean vocals actually add a lot to this song and make the song better. So overall, a song that I did not have very high expectations towards going into it, but a song that I was check it off, boys, pleasantly surprised with. There's a really strong chorus in this song. The female vocals are great. Nice verses as well, and you get a decent breakdown as well towards the back half of the song. Overall, as I said, it's the first time that I think New Saviors have kind of sealed every piece of a complete package of a song.
If you had to, like, ask, the reason why I assume this is Jake's song is because it feels like it's got the quintessential Jake song elements. Like, this is,
yeah.
You're like, all right, guys, give me a song to show me what Jake likes, but you can't give me, like, some power metal fusion band out of somewhere in Europe. Damn. Who can I give that has the female vocal dynamic? Boom. New Saviors.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where they keep going. I've been aware of them for a while, but I haven't added any of their other songs to the playlist because I haven't felt super inspired by a lot of it. It's been consistently just like solid. This is the first song that really stuck with me to a noticeable level. So definitely interested to see where this band goes from here.
All right.
That brings us to Torrential Rain.
Another
with
new
their
band.
new single. Yeah, Differentiate.
I'm not the man that I would find outright. Holding on to words, clinging on to thoughts.
Now, Justin, as far as I'm aware, you're the only one that was into this band up until this
Yeah, I've been into them for a while, actually. Since like early 2020 when Home Alone came out. That was a really good single, and then I got back into them when Left Outside came out, but I think I was really the only one kind of feeling that, so we didn't include it in one of our talks in 2020. We were then looking at releases and reached out to by the band to look at this. How are we feeling about this, guys?
This is stupid good. Like,
Too
this has
good.
no right to go this hard.
I don't want to be a party pooper here, but I'm feeling very mixed on this for the same reasons why I feel very mixed on Phineas. This has the crazy guitar instrumentation of Phineas. It's almost like I don't want to say budget Phineas. I don't want to say it's budget Phineas, but kind of. And I like there's two songs I still have in my playlist from that Phineas album. This feels very reminiscent to it. And there's moments that work. Like, I think the chorus is really solid. The instrumentation is amazing, but the unclean vocals just aren't working for me. And I think if I can cross that barrier in the same way, like if I can cross that barrier for Phineas, I can cross that barrier with Torrential Rain, you know?
So, I was going to say, this sounds like the Browning instrumentals
Oh, the Browning.
with Phineas vocals and then theatrical elements like Ice Nine Kills, and it's like a blend of like all my favorite things of all those three bands, and it's like, I don't know, I just love this song. It's so good. I just heard it for the first time today, and it's like on repeat.
I'm gonna say you guys should check out, after the podcast, check out Home Alone and Left Outside, because those are my favorite songs. I feel like you guys would jive with those really well. Home Alone, Jake, has kind of like the Anna's Okay instrumentation.
Say no more.
Yeah.
This is like, this track is like, I had an experience listening to it, because I feel like I couldn't pinpoint the exact structure of it, which normally would be like not a great thing. I like songs to have distinct structures, but this I didn't care, because everything that I was hearing was just so good that I whatever was happening in my ears at any given point during all 5 minutes of this track, I was fine with. I was just like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not?
This
I mean,
has
it's so
Sorry.
good. No, I'm just gonna say it's
This has-
really good.
this has big intro vibes, like an opener to.
Oh yeah.
Is this attached to anything? Do we know? Has anything been announced?
I don't think
Justin?
anything's been announced yet.
So the last 4 singles all have very similar artwork, so I assume this is I assume this is toward an album this year.
I'm gonna say it, top 5 song of the month.
I would agree. Does that include EPs and albums? Or are you
Top
just
5
talking
single of the
singles?
month.
Okay.
Okay.
I would agree. I would also I would even go as far to say as this is a top 3 single.
Yeah. I think I would.
Really.
Actually,
Yeah, so shout out Justin for getting in contact with the band and bringing this to us, because this is fucking fantastic, and anybody who hasn't heard this should.
Wait, getting in contact with the band. I didn't do anything.
Well, no, I mean, like, you were the bridge, right? Between worlds? Between us and Torrential
I
Rain?
didn't do anything.
Dude, take the compliment and go.
They sent Jake, I mean, I'll take the compliment, but they sent Jake the message, not me.
Hey, I'm tripping.
You are tripping.
I fucked up. Yeah, shout out Jake. Shout out Jake. Oh man. Anyway, guys, we've got a new single here from One Morning Left called Intergalactic Casanova.
This is actually a B-side off of their album from earlier in the year. So, I don't know why this was left as a B-side, because this is better than half of that album.
Yeah.
But it was left a B-side. And it good. It's like it's the same One Morning Left sound that kinda works sometimes, kinda doesn't work other times. But once again, it's another song that leans more into the clean vocals, and I generally prefer the clean vocals of this band, so I enjoy this song quite a bit. Wow.
You?
Clean vocals?
are you kidding?
Dude,
Dude, this feels like a Michael Jackson song.
What? Okay,
Actually, you're not too far off. You're not too far
know
off.
where this is going.
You're not too
I
far
don't
off.
know.
The instrumentation does sound a little bit
Oh,
like Michael Jackson.
yeah,
I remember thinking the same
I like
thing.
that Twitter post idea. It's like, yeah, this is a pretty good song for fans of Michael Jackson. What in the world?
For fans of Michael Jackson and
Jack, have
Eskimo
you not heard
Callboy.
the song?
I have. I don't hear it. Are you talking solely instrumentation?
No, I'm talking like
Oh,
at the
okay.
50.
It's like the verse
50-second mark.
the first verse combined, like the first verse instrumentation and vocal delivery kind of reminds me of Michael Jackson. I'm with you, Jacob.
I'm not with you. It's got like a vague 80s melody if you squint. All
All right, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I'm on the full effect. No, I will agree with Jake that it is better than half of that album, and I will agree with Jacob that it is still just It's there. It's okay.
I wanted to make note of it because, like, I know we aren't all the biggest fans of this band after hearing that album. They started off so promising with Neon Highway.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a shame. But given that this is, like, a decently solid song, like, would rank on the upper half of that album, I think, for all of us. I wanted to make note of it in this episode, so kind of to finish off the saga of One Morning Left. And
I have faith that this band will put out really good music that I will love eventually. I have the utmost faith in them. I think they can do it.
You know what other band I have a lot of faith
nursing
in?
Home. I'm waiting for One Morning Left.
Man.
You know what other band I have a lot of fucking faith in?
And
it's Future Palace. They dropped a brand new song called Heads Up.
In this trapping situation, I feel like giving up.
Poor Derek.
So, similar to Bad Omens, it's very hard to follow up Paradise. But they damn tried, and this song is really good. Behind Bad Omens for my second most anticipated album of 2021, coming out in fucking June, announced it fucking 7 months ahead of time. Fuck off, I need to graduate from college before I hear this shit, I'm upset. But yeah, Future Palace are climbing the ranks of, like, female bands with harsh vocals out of nowhere. It's like, there's, like, a tier of bands. You have, like, God, putting this in a tier just feels fucking wrong, but it's like Conquer Divide, then you, like, level up to an As Everything Unfolds, then you get to, like, a Dream State or a Spirit Box at the top. And Future Palace, they were nowhere near this ladder, and they decided to, like, knock on the door one day just for fun, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna, like, go up to that top tier, please, and thank you. Like, what can this band not do at this point? I don't know, man. That debut album is still...
song, that's what they can't
do. For real. That debut album is still a top 3 album of 2020, in my opinion, and this album is well on its way to following that up with another top 5 album of the year appearance, at least top 10 if I had to make a guess. I'm in love with her vocals, both the clean vocals and the harsh vocals. The instrumentation is sick, especially the riff and the breakdown at the end of this is just fantastic. I think the one kind of minor complaint that I have with this song is the lyricism in the chorus just feels a little underwhelming. Gotta keep my head up from this crappy situation. Just, it's not the most inspiring lyric. But I love this band too much to put them at fault for that. And this is still a top 5 song of the month for me. So, yeah.
Crappy situation is the one thing holding this song back for me. I think that could have picked something a little better, like you said. I'm glad we have the same small gripe with it, but otherwise, yeah. I wasn't. I mean, obviously, I wasn't as high on that debut album as you were, but I think between Heads Up and Paradise, I'm kind of sold. This upcoming album is like. It's shooting up the ranks of my most anticipated.
At this point, I am more upset that I have to go through my entire last semester of college before I get to hear this album. I needed this album to release. I needed this album to release during the semester so I had motivation to actually graduate, you know?
That's your motivation to graduate, huh?
I need this album to get me through those last 3 weeks of the semester, you know? But I guess having it as a reward for graduating works too. So... Anyway, to finish up this A Rising Empire triple threat of releases that we got coming here, from fall to spring have dropped a brand new song called Destiny. And, dare I say, this is the best of the past 3 songs? I think I like this more than the Future Palace song. I'm dead ass.
What? No. He's capping. He's capping.
It's close, but I heard this song for the first time and I was hooked. This is...
Huh.
I have a new favorite from Ashes to New song, and it's this.
So you mean you have a new favorite Linkin Park song? Because that's basically what this is.
Yeah, it has its Linkin Park influences, but this is my new favorite from Ash's new song.
This is more Fort
Afterlife
Myers
wishes they were.
than not Fort Myers. Fuck. Who was Mike Shenunda and also the band with?
Oh god,
I don't remember. Okay, maybe I'm a little off base for saying it's better than Future Palace with how much I love that band, but this song is like definitely a top 5 song of the month for me. I was going back to this song constantly throughout the month. It is like quintessential nu metal done like just fucking fantastically. The instrumentation, you get that electronic disc scratching going on. You get some really sick riffs. You get a sick chorus, incredible verses, and I think the highlight of the song, when I knew this song was like incredible, was when I get to the breakdown, and then you get that little vocal modulation on, I think it's like, fuck, I can't remember, but it's like, Taking Me Down, where you kind of distort the word down, and it goes immediately back into the chorus, and then you end off the song with You Can't Break My Fucking Destiny, just for a little variation on that chorus, and holy shit, man, I am in love with this song. The biggest surprise of the month for me, by far.
I was thinking of Fort Minor, by the way.
Okay. Fort Myers. It's close.
So, you guys have any thoughts on this one?
I'm still just baffled that this is
Yeah.
your top 5.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this band.
I'm not either.
No.
It's not like it wasn't great. It was just like
Yeah.
there. I thought it was just there, and then you're like, yeah, I like this better than Future Palace. You know? Okay.
I've heard from Ashton News songs better than this. Unfortunately,
I've heard
I-
Afterlife songs better than this.
Okay,
That's
I
a
think
good
I've also...
comparison.
Afterlife is a good comparison. I think I might have also heard Afterlife, like, an Afterlife song better than this. But this is, like, some of the best nu metal I've heard in fucking ages. And
Dude,
I've checked out...
Biscuit literally dropped an album last
I
year,
didn't
bro.
listen to it.
Neither did I.
Oh man. I checked out some of their other songs too, just to be like, damn, like I love this so much. I need to check out their past stuff. Nothing comes close to how good this is. But in my opinion, this is like far and away the best thing that they have dropped in like the recent singles. And I'm hoping that they drop an album coming 2022. I don't know if it's gonna rank anywhere just based on the other singles not being nearly as good, but this song is fucking incredible. The more I think about it, I'm definitely off base saying it's better than Future Palace, actually. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm
still
glad you
fucking
recognize
incredible.
that, but... You know what is better than Future Palace? Is this new Memphis May Fire single called Left for Dead.
Yeah, I'm
And I
high on the
really
Future
thought about
Palace. Yeah, I'm high on the Future Palace song. I might be a little higher on this Memphis May Fire song.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm willing to say it's second best behind Blood and Water. I think that's a fair assessment.
Really?
I'm
That
putting it
was
third behind
fourth.
Death Inside.
This is 4th.
There's a
What?
clear gap between this song and then Bleed Me Dry and Somebody. There is a clear gap between the 3 and the 2, if you ask me.
I think so too, except I've got this as 2. Well, no, because Death Inside was good too.
Death
I don't
Inside is
know.
a banger.
I think what I really like about this one is that it feels like there's some variation to it, you know, with the tempo switch and the last chorus, and it feels like they've gotten very formulaic, and not to say that this isn't still kind of generic, but at least there's some switch up that feels like we're getting an individual single with its own identity, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. I've got Bleed Me Dry saved. I've listened to it a bunch. You tell me to name one thing about that song and I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can tell you there's a verse, there's a chorus, there's a breakdown, there's whereas at least with this, it feels like it's got its own unique identity. So I'm happy with it. And I will say, related to the way that they've been doing this, these songs are doing numbers. I mean, Left 4 Dead's already at 840,000, which is approaching over, the lower numbers of stuff off of Broken. And like Blood and Water is almost at 8 million. Bleed Me Dry is at 4.4. What's up?
Not to mention that they released the same music video 5 times.
Yes. Well, they did release a new one, I think, for somebody.
really?
And yeah, they redid the one for somebody that wasn't in the warehouse, and they dropped the fifth warehouse music video with Left 4 Dead. So
They have to combine. They have to have done the entire album in that warehouse, right?
if there's even an album at this point,
Honestly,
I thought
just
there
commit
was.
to the bit at this point.
Well, so I think probably what happened is that they recognize that they're going to take these singles and release them, try and get as much radio play as possible, and rather than exerting the budget, because them giving an extra music video for somebody makes me think that they just said, fuck it, we need an official visualizer music video for all these singles so they can pop up on YouTube and get more clicks, because it's going to have more clicks if it's an actual video, and then we'll retroactively put out a better music video for all of them as we go on. Because they did it for somebody. I don't know why they wouldn't do it for some of the other songs, but I don't know. Memphis May Fire kind of on a tear.
Yeah.
I swore I saw multiple places that this was going to become an album, and then for whatever reason they still have yet to drop an album announcement with 5 tracks out.
Well, I think it's like the Sleep Token Sundowning
Okay.
idea.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like anyway.
I hope
Like,
so.
They're just gonna release like
Memphis
it's
May
just gonna be an
Fire
album
Top
at the
10
end.
AOTY 2022. Give it to me.
Honestly.
2023 at this rate.
Yeah. No, you know what? If we get something that I can consider in my top 10 after the egregious offense to music that was Broken, I'll be happy. I'll take it.
That takes us to our final 2 songs of the month. Derek, I'm going to let you lead this one off.
I am so fucking happy right now that we get to talk about this artist. Garden has dropped a new single called Bad Luck. And I'm actually, because I was in the top, I think it was 0.0005 or something like that % of listeners for Garden last year. I don't know. This is my number 1 most listened to last year, but I'm actually going to hand this one over to Jacob, because Jacob has discovered a love for this song, and it makes me very happy, and I want to hear his thoughts.
A conversion in the Hivemind has happened in the background over the past few
It
weeks.
has. So, after we recorded our final awards episodes, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start listening to other stuff. It's like a little time where I don't listen to what I normally do at the end of the year. So then I listened to SOTS, and they're like, this EP by Garden. So I go and listen to it, and it's like, this sounds like Eden. And I was like, okay, Derek, I know you listen to this artist. Send me more music. And then it's snowballed into this giant obsession with Garden at this point. And I didn't even realize that this song came out this month until 3 or 4 days after I started listening to it. I thought it was just some random song you released this year. So this is my number. This is a top 1 song of the month.
Yes, sir.
So happy Derek noises,
dude. Absolutely. What is it for you that you like about this so much? I gotta know.
I think it's just his voice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too.
And I'm gonna need to pull up lyrics. Give me a sec. But tell us what you like about this song.
I am of the opinion that Garden can do no wrong. At this point, if Garden drops a song or features on a song, I'm pretty much just entirely sold. And I think the thing that I like most is that regardless of what he's doing, that EP was acoustic. He does a lot of emo rap stuff. He tried experimenting more into alt rock or kind of a pop punk type thing with All I Can See. Obviously he featured on Again and Again by Against the Current.
Banger.
And then this and Pink Lemonade are more, I guess, instrumentally, maybe not as much vocally, but hyper pop kind of sense or centered. And he said that he puts out whatever music he wants to make and just hopes that people will like it, and a lot of that is based around like what he's listening to at the time. And I think that he's a very versatile artist, and I think this is a great example of that because it's just got this bouncy, upbeat tempo and the same kind of melancholic lyrics as always. The first verse, "It was the night I never felt so alive, then you crossed my mind. I tried to leave you behind, but of course you hide, kept out of reach and unkind, so my pulse arise as I look into those eyes." Just this song talking about dealing with, your own self-worth and your past trauma and coming to the conclusion that bad luck is all that I know, bad luck is all that I am. It's just, he's got something, whether it's sonically, lyrically, whatever, he's got something for everybody in like every mood. And I think that's what I really appreciate about this and this song. And this song, because of the bounciness of it, it feels very easily repeatable, like something I just put on in the background and listen to for like 30 times in one
When
go.
I first listened to it, I had it on repeat by accident, and I was like, this is a really long song. I couldn't even figure out where it started. It was like endlessly looping. But I think my highlight is the last chorus.
Yeah. No, for me as well. There's so much to love with this song, and I'm just really glad that you like Garden because I tried to get Jake into it and I didn't expect much, and then it didn't really go anywhere, and I'm fine with it. But I got you now. You're my you're my little my garden apprentice.
Garden apprentice.
My young
That's
Padawan.
good.
We're planting.
That's true. You know what? That's why he's called Garden, is because he just wanted to plant whatever metaphorical seed, in the sense that he wanted to make whatever music he wanted and just watch it like sprout and grow. That's like real lore. That's not just me pulling stuff out of yeah.
Yeah,
So,
this is my favorite Gardens.
it's up there for me. It's probably top 5.
Definitely number 1. No flaw.
Well, I've got 53 saved, so it's got some steep competition. But I think that brings us to our last song of the month, unless Justin or Jake have any thoughts on Garden.
You can answer that one for yourself.
Yeah, the answer is no. Justin, do you have any thoughts on Garden?
Nah, I liked it. It gave the same Eden vibes that Jacob was talking about, but nothing that really stuck with me.
Fine by me. Jake, this next one's a band that you found, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Derek, you wouldn't hold a grudge against me for not getting into Garden, would you?
And he's gone. That was the quickest disconnect.
I had to. Lightwave have dropped their brand new song Grudge, featuring Connor Halsey of Our Hollow, Our Home.
As you lie awake, just a rebel in the bitterness. Place to blame anyone but yourself. You got another case of bad blood.
Sorry, I had to make this joke now. Sorry, Derek, that's just bad luck.
Guys, come on, you're gonna leave him for dead.
Stop.
Destiny.
Dude, it's just like shot after shot.
Derek is totally
Man.
faking fine right now.
Dude,
You need to keep your head up, bro. You need to keep your head up.
Guys, stop. He's crashing. Guys, stop.
Stop.
All right. So
Karma's gonna hit you guys for this one.
So-
He's losing control.
that's a good way to end it. That's a good way to end
He's
it.
lost in the machine.
It ends with
I am-
artificial suicide.
I am holding my fist in the air. My fist is poised in the air.
Man yells at Cloud.
Alright, so Lightwave is a band that I found from Dreambound, and they dropped their debut single back in October. It was pretty solid. They dropped the second single this month off of a debut EP coming out in February. I wanted to make note of this one on the episode because it features the screamer, unqueen vocalist of Our Hollow, Our Home in the breakdown of the song, which I know we talked about that album earlier this year, and I don't know, it didn't really make any of our end of year stuff, but I think Derek, you liked it a decent bit, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we all came to the conclusion about it should have been an EP instead.
Right, yeah.
But it had some solid material on it.
So, how did you think of the feature on this song?
Sounds better than he did on any of the Our Hollow, Our Home tracks.
Because I didn't listen to the full Our Hollow, Our Home album. I listened to like a little over half of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really feeling it, so I just kind of gave up on it. But the feature here actually works for me. This is like the first or second time where his unclean vocals have kind of worked for me. And I'm for it. Because it always had that potential for me, but the delivery just never was there. And I almost think it's because it's a feature that it works for me. I'm not like overblown with his vocals.
Right.
And it's subtle enough to add enough to this song. To really, it's just like it's a nice feature for this song, really. And I think it's a good way to bring more attention to this band that's just debuting right now. So there's definitely some potential for this band. I'm sure we'll be talking about the EP when it drops in February. See if it drops any more surprises when we get there. But definitely another small band to keep an eye out on. Solid female vocals. Low-key kind of sounds like Avril Lavigne at times, if Avril Lavigne sang in more of like a metalcore, post-hardcore type band.
Now there's what I need.
But overall, yeah, this song didn't blow me away, but it was a solid song.
I need a super group with like Avril Lavigne, Will Ramos, Will Swan, the drummer from Of Mice and Men, and then the bassist from Who Cares? I need that super group in my life.
From Silent Planet, the bassist from Silent.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. We're good. Or fucking Tuck from Fit for a King. Fit for a King. What a triple vocal dynamic that would be. Tuck, Avril Lavigne, Will Ramos. Oh yeah. I'm starting a group DM on Twitter. I'll be like, guys, hear me out. Will Ramos over Dance Gavin Dance guitar work. Oh yeah, this needs that. You think I won't start the DM right now? Continue talking about the.
Can I propose? Can I propose?
What's up?
Featuring Garden.
I think I'd explode on the spot, though. I think that'd be it. That sounds like me, and I've got like some sort of Make-A-Wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of. It's like, all right, everybody. Yeah, Garden featuring Tillian Wen. I'd fuck with it. Anyway,
I could actually see that.
Yeah. Well, he likes Dance Gavin Dance. He references Dance Gavin Dance in one of the songs off of his 2020 album. So it is there. The potential is there. His favorite song off Afterburner is
Manifest it.
I'm manifesting it. But anyway, before we go on to EPs, I actually really like the Slightwave song. I almost wish that Connor would become a full-time member of the band because I think that the feature is just that good. Again, like you said, I think with the Our Hollow, Our Home album, what it risks is that you get a lot of the unclean delivery at once over the course of 10 tracks, but when you just get it isolated here, especially contrasting with her vocals, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Actually, one of my retroactively one of my favorite features of the year, I would say. I think it works really, really well.
I believe that will take us into our EPs and albums for the month of December, and we have surprisingly a fair bit to talk about this month. We got 3 small bands dropping new EPs, one more notable name dropping an EP. We got 2 albums to talk about a little bit more. Let's get started with the debut EP from Howl Like Wolves entitled The Crown. Now, this is a small little band out of Germany, and popped up into my YouTube recommended a bit ago, and I was like, this has some potential. I believe it was the song Save Me, which I first heard. And I gave this EP a listen, and it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's just 4 really solid tracks. Like, I've listened to this thing front to back a handful of times, and it's like, I'm never not enjoying myself. I'm not, like, in the same way that, like, I'd throw some EPs from 2021 just on repeat and I'd be singing along to every moment. Like, I don't want to classify this EP as just, like, good background noise, because there's a lot more value to it than that. But I would listen to this as, like, almost just like a background noise, and like I'd never be complaining when I listen to it, you know? It's just really quality, especially for a debut EP. I also noticed that this band has a connection to Our Promise, which, if you listen to our awards episodes, would know was my number 2 EP of the year. So for them to have a connection to Our Promise definitely inspires confidence from me. So yeah, overall, I was really satisfied with this. Nothing groundbreaking, just another small band that I want to keep my eye on and see where they grow, because I think they have a lot of potential.
I'm gonna mention this band would have done so much better for me if they had leaned less into the heavy vocals in a lot of their songs. Save Me is my favorite of the EP. It's not
agree.
even close.
I would agree, yeah.
And the chorus is amazing.
Yeah, it's a really catchy chorus.
I feel like if they had done more of the chorus, just make the entire song the chorus, literally, I feel like it would have like propelled for me and done so much better. Hell, it probably would have made my top 10 EPs last year, or this year, because recaps are weird. Yeah.
December is the Enigma month.
Yeah, it's very weird.
For new music.
But no, it's because they lean so much on the heavier vocals. I'm not sold on this. And
I'm glad that you at least see potential in this band. I'm glad that
I
it's
do
not
see
just
potential, and I'm open to listening to more to see if they'll do more of the clean vocals to kind of demonstrate them more. Maybe have the uncleans as just kind of backing vocals. There's a band that I really wanted to cheat and have us talk about today, or this month, but we'll have to talk about next month because they really released a song on New Year's Day. Hate. That I feel like did that perfectly. This band, I feel like they need to kind of lean more into the clean vocals, but it's still solid.
You got to keep in mind, this is another debut EP, and for a debut EP, this is a really solid foundation to start from, I think.
Yeah, this is their first full song. So
yeah. Derek, Jacob, you have any quick thoughts on this one?
I will echo the fact that they have promise. I'm going to treat them the same way I do Our Promise, where I want to see them evolve and grow. They can come back to me with like another album, or like maybe like 2 more EPs from now. I want to see how they sound then. I'm curious. They have my interest peaked.
So then let's get to the one big notable EP drop of the month that came the fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The Amity Affliction.
Literally right after we recorded our EPs episode.
The Amity Affliction and their new EP, Somewhere Beyond the Blue. Which is only 3 tracks, and I could have sworn that we had talked about Death Is All Around as a single, and we would have talked about it, the one new song, or was it Give Up the Ghost? I don't know, whatever. We talked about Like Love, they released a second single, and the third single completes the EP. I could have sworn we talked about the second one, but apparently we never did, so let's talk about the EP as a whole. How are you guys, Derek and Jacob specifically, how are you guys feeling on this? Because I think you guys are more so into the band than myself and Justin.
This is the best that Amity has ever sounded. Jacob, your thoughts on that statement?
I think I will agree, but a lot of this sounds too similar to me. And honestly, I think I've actually outgrown this band and this sound. Like, it just doesn't interest me anymore. Like, I used to be like a huge fan of like Let the Ocean Take Me and whatever album was after that. This Could Be Heartbreak, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've outgrown this band. Like, I like what I'm hearing, but it's just like, okay, there's nothing that stands out.
I think that's how I feel, and I think that what they've done is they've done what we wanted that Our Hollow, Our Home album to be, where it was an EP and it wasn't an overwhelming amount of like the same thing. Like Let the Ocean Take Me, regardless of like how I feel about it, is an iconic scene album. Like that is that's up there. And I feel like a lot of the songs on that album sound the same. And then you get something like an Everyone Loves You Once You Leave Them, which barely missed my top 10 for 2020. I almost said last year. And had a lot of a collection of good songs on it, but wasn't very cohesive as an album. And I think that this takes the best of Amity's sound and packages it into an EP that doesn't feel like it's 10 tracks of the same thing. You get 3 tracks of the same thing, but it's not too much, at least not for me, because it's 3 tracks. And I think that there's also a lot or enough variation in it that when you get something like Give Up the Ghost, which I feel like doesn't have its own unique, like, special moment to it in the same way that, you know, Like Love does with the I'll See You in Space, or Death Is All Around, where you get that massive breakdown with fucking Aaron Stringer, I think that's how you pronounce his name anyway, doing highs screams while Joel does lows. Like I was not expecting them to dual scream at all, and it was really nice. I think Death Is All Around is probably my favorite Amity song, even over Soak Me in Bleach, which, you know, I did not expect to be saying, but yeah, they sound crisp, they sound clean. I think both vocalists sound as good as they ever do. I don't think they've really sounded any different in the past, 7 years, 8 years, you know, but it's Amity doing Amity things. And I think that they do it really, really successfully. And again, I think this is the best they've ever sounded. If we got a whole album like this, and especially, I know it's a lot to say, especially after I just got done talking about how I think that it's best that this is an EP, but if we got an album like this, I wouldn't be mad. I think it could be like a modern day Let the Ocean Take Me, refined with the nuances that they got in This Could Be a Heartbreak, and especially, the album wasn't called Beltsville Blues. Oh, I was going to say the 2018
Misery?
album, Misery, yeah. Beltsville Blues is the only song off that album I really remember besides D.I.E.
God. Oh, God.
You're welcome. No, I think that Amity have done a good job of combining all the best facets of what they've experimented with and bringing it back in that traditional Amity sound. And, you know, I don't know if we're going to get an album this year. We may. This EP kind of had bad marketing. I appreciate the sudden drop, but I was just kind of confused that we were getting an EP. I thought maybe that Like Love was going to be a lead single, and then it wasn't, and then I got confused. And yeah, I don't know. But overall, very happy with this. I think Amity is doing good things. I'm happy about a complete full Amity release, which is not something, even if it's only an EP, it's not something I've ever been able to say before, so I'll take it.
I still only really like Love, the first single. Death Is All
That is
Around
my
and
first song.
Death Is All Around and Give Up the Ghost are both too heavy for me.
Man, I thought, could you at least appreciate the breakdowns in Death Is All Around?
I only listened to it once or twice, and honestly,
Aw.
that was 2 weeks ago. So,
Man, it's massive. It's probably the biggest breakdown they've had in a long time. But you know what? I'll take it.
Neither of those songs really did much for me. I got done with the listening to all 3 back to back, and I was kind of just like, all right, I'm moving on with my day. Like, it didn't really leave a mark in any way for me.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with Jacob where I feel like I've outgrown a lot of Amity songs, and the ones that stick with me are ones that are maybe less traditional Amity sounding. I think the one that comes off the top of my head is Just Like Me. I also really enjoy something like 15 Pieces of Flair or Holier Than Heaven, but yeah, despite having grown out of that sound, they do that sound really well here, so I can't really complain. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. I have a feeling that any future releases, they're going to give up on sticking to the sound and start experimenting again, and I'm just not going to like it. But feel free to prove me wrong, the Amity Affliction. I know you're listening. I know you're out there. Joel Burns.
Those are 2 different
this one's for
statements,
you.
my friend. Justin, take us on a ride for this next one.
Yeah, so we've got another new band that we're going to be talking about. This is a debut EP from a band called Devil's Cut. Their debut EP, Lifted. I don't remember where I found this, but I found this somehow, and this sounds pretty normal to me at some point. It's good. I think this band, this being their debut EP with only 5-6 tracks to their name, I think it's good. They definitely have potential to do more. Kind of shows they're versatile with Backfire being the more kind of heavier mix of heavier instrumentation with pretty decent cleans and uncleans. Let Go and Lost in My Head are the easier ones to digest, just because they're like, I would say this is early Fight the Fade, now that I'm thinking about it more, with like kind of electronic rock instrumentation.
I didn't pick up on that when I listened to this, but
I didn't think about it until now, and then I looked in the playlist when we were talking about Fight the Fade. I was like, oh, this band actually relates more to early Fight the Fade. Not to say, like, they don't have potential to like do their own sound, which I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But at this point, just kind of jotting them off the EP, they have ways to go. I feel like some of the lyrics could be a bit more varied, but I think this band did pretty well.
I think in a similar vein to Howl Like Wolves, it's a solid debut EP that shows that they have potential. I really enjoyed Let Go in particular. I really enjoyed the chorus of that.
Let Go is probably my favorite.
Yeah, it's like, it's not groundbreaking. It's just solid, you know? I'm definitely glad that you put this in the playlist, because I wouldn't have listened to this otherwise.
We have a knack for finding bands that have potential.
We do.
So I think we've done a lot of that in the past year, and I think it's going to start paying dividends here.
I sure hope so.
Upcoming years, and I'm very excited to see it.
Justin, you have anything else to add here?
Nope.
I think there's one more EP that we have left to talk about. Well, I don't think. There is one more EP left that we have to talk about. I think this one might already be paying dividends, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Letters Sent Home have dropped their EP, Misery Loves Company.
You're strong enough to not do so. Standing side by side, we're not gonna die. Fighting for our lives, we will rise tonight. Let's pursue the light.
Now, this came out after we recorded our top 5 EPs of the year episode. But in hindsight, this is on the borderline of, like, at this point, I don't know. I've had this EP on repeat for 4 days straight since I listened to it in full, and I cannot get enough of every single one of these songs. It is 4 incredibly unique and diverse songs from top to bottom, all 4 of which giving off some sort of a different vibe in one way or another, and they did not miss a single time. This is like one of those, like, you check out all these small bands that drop like debut EPs sometimes, and Letter Sent Home to me is like the 1 in 10 that you hit. Like, it's the 1 in 10 that like hits harder than the rest. Like, the others, they're all good, they have potential. Letters Sent Home are, you hit on them and they have reached that potential when you discover them of this small size, you know? This is absolutely incredible. From like within the first hour of having this on repeat, I was ready to throw it in my top 10 EPs of 2021. And with 4 days of having this EP on repeat, I don't know if I can force it into my top 5, but it is like contesting for like that 6 or 7 spot for me. This is incredible. Derek, I'll let you take it away, since I know you really enjoyed this as well when I forced you to listen to it.
Dude, it's Concrete Castles with an edge to it, man.
That's a great way to put it, dude. That's a fantastic way to put it. Concrete Castles with an edge. And that totally explains why both of us love it so much.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, right? Oh man, I was not expecting the guitar tone that I got on here at all, and then I got it, and I was like, "All right, we chugging, we're chugging now."
Misery Loves Company and We're Not Gonna Die, like they're not metalcore songs, but they're like, God, how do I say it?
Well, I think they are. I think that they could classify. I don't know what else you would classify it as.
Yeah.
And well, at least I feel like Misery Loves Company has to be, because you've got the zeros, you've got the ones, you've got the unclean vocals, like whatever. I guess you could say hard rock maybe, but it feels weird to call it hard rock when her vocals are
they're so elegant.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I guess so is Courtney LaPlante, and we also have
True.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the most impressive part to me, discussion over whatever genre it is because I don't think that they are defined by any one genre.
They're not. They're absolutely not.
You get something like We're Not Gonna Die, Misery's Company, which is, heavier. I think you get something like Waves, which is just this like vibey EDM breakdown in the chorus type thing.
I played Waves to my sisters, and they're like, "This is something that I would hear at a nightclub."
Yeah, it's
surrounded by two songs with like metalcore guitar riffs.
Yeah, I just like I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like when somebody asks me like, "Oh, what genre is that? Like the Plot and You album, or what genre is that Bill Murray album?" I don't know. It's good.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's good. What genre is this band? Good.
What the fucking genre it is, man? Like I'll just kind of like look at them, possibly like, who cares? Like, right?
Yeah.
And this is they dropped their debut EP in 2020, which I listened to, and this already I heard this first before that debut EP, but having heard both, this feels like they're already strongly maturing on the sound from their original like debut EP, which means that they're just gonna keep getting better than this, which is mind-boggling at the rate at which they are improving and expanding upon their sound. I mean, this is just really, really good. I think We're Not Gonna Die and Waves, the two standouts for me. I really like Misery Loves Company. I'm not quite as high on Anxiety.
I wish Anxiety had a better utilization of the feature of When Death Lives, where it's a 4-minute long song, and the feature doesn't come in until like 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. You get the feature for the last chorus. And it feels a little off-putting to me. Whereas I almost wish, similar to Misery Loves Company, where you get the feature kind of interjected throughout the entire song after the first chorus. I wish the same thing happened in Anxiety. Maybe it would have been a little repetitive to have two songs that have pretty similar structure, use of features, but I wish that I had more of that feature in that song. Anxiety is... God, it is so hard to pick a favorite song on this EP, because they're all so good. But Anxiety is the one that I had on repeat the most, and it's basically simply for the chorus of that song. You get that one little guitar lick in the chorus, and I hear that, and I'm just like, holy shit. I don't know if one little guitar string has ever done so much for me in a 4-song EP. But it's so good. And then, as you said, it's followed by Waves. Like... just completely changing the sound. I think we spent enough time talking about the sound and vocal delivery and stuff. I want to make note of some of the lyrics on this EP, which have really stood out to me. On Anxiety, the chorus, where you get that little guitar thing, it says, "I'm looking for a reason in the blank space of my mind. They say sickness is in season. I can't see the light." I love the vocal delivery on that. I think that's really creative lyricism, especially with like the whole sickness is in season, rhyming that with "I'm looking for a reason." Just really good songwriting for a band as small a size as they are. Really impressive stuff. And then after that, in Waves, you get in the first verse, "I'm a puppet trained to live. My tears are toxic, and I don't know how to forgive myself. I'm tired. I'm sick." The vocal delivery on that part is so fucking good. I think as creative as Waves is as a song, I almost would have preferred it to be a little more traditional. But then I don't know. And then like if it is more traditional, I'm wondering if I would prefer it with it being right. It's like oh, man, this EP is just fantastic. I am so stoked that I gave this a listen.
I'm stoked that you gave it a listen and then shared it with me.
I remember I heard Anxiety back in, it was dropped on Dreambound in like October, November, and I was like, this song is pretty alright. And then I moved on with my day. And it showed up in my recommended again, and I saw that they had dropped a full EP, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should check this out. And I go back to Anxiety, and suddenly Anxiety just clicks with me on a different level, and I'm like, holy shit, this song is incredible. I had it on repeat for a few days before listening to the full EP. And then I listened to the full EP, and it's not one of those times where it's like, oh, you hear this one really good song from a small band on a recommendation, then you check out the full EP, and it's like 3 or 4 other songs that are a lot more underwhelming. No, every single song I'm like, holy shit, this is really good. Holy shit, this is really good. Holy shit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think I can say too much more. Derek, I think we have done a great job trying to vouch for this band in this EP, I must say.
Yeah, they better be vouched. They better feel very vouched for right now. And I hope Justin and Jacob have been persuaded to listen to it.
Yes, sir.
At least Jacob. I don't know if Justin would feel this as much, but
I already
Jacob.
listened to this.
All right, that's about
It's
the
good.
response.
It's good.
So,
It's
I'm
good, but
disappointed.
not something I'm gonna listen to.
Yeah.
normally.
That's about what I expected from you with this. I know this isn't very much your sound, but that takes us to our 2 albums of December. So let's get started then. Of Mice and Men, and they finally dropped their album Echo.
Time is unredeemable.
Just like a shout in the dark, where you go.
Which combines the Timeless and Bloom EP into this album. And I know we've already talked about this in our top 10 albums episode.
Spoilers.
But yeah, I'm not going to say where, but it did make it on at least one list there. Now that we've
It was
had a
my
little bit
number
more
9 album of the year.
now that we've had a little bit more time to digest this album, so to say, has anything changed in the past few weeks since recording that last episode for you guys?
It feels a little odd to say it as somebody whose list it made. I have not listened to this album since we recorded those episodes. I don't
feel
think
like
I've
that's-
listened.
No, you get so tired of listening to them all to prepare for that episode, and then
Yeah, I think
Like I
the
said,
only
There's a little bit of burnout to it, yeah.
like I said with the garden, that's why I was like branching out. So
Yeah, I spent a lot of time listening to like pop punk actually over the past couple of weeks for no good reason. And my album of the year, actually I listened to my album of the year a lot recently. Go watch, find out what it is. I still think that this is just as solid. I remember coming off the end of my 2019 and even 2020 lists, even just a couple of weeks after we did it, I was like, yeah, I had to change this. I'd have made this difference to my list. Maybe swap an album here and there, move it up. And I'm still feeling very solid about where I put this and about how I feel about the album. And I think it's just a testament to how solid the material on here is. Like, of Mice and Men this year have gone from a band that was recovering from the loss of a vocalist and figuring out who they wanted to be to becoming solidified in their identity and hitting their stride instrumentally, vocally. I mean, just everything about this. We've talked a lot about those other 2 EPs, the Timeless EP and the Bloom EP, which are both, they hold up as well on the album as they did in the EP. The other 4 songs are all just as good. I mean, I might be a little biased given how much I enjoyed it, but no, I really think that Of Mice and Men have knocked it out of the park with this, and at the expense of making a pun that I didn't really want to, but I'm already committed to the bit, is that this album feels timeless, in the sense that I don't see my opinion changing on how solid of songs these are, because I think that rather than something I was just feeling at the time, like some of the other albums on my list come a year from now may change just because, I was feeling it more at the moment and then I'm not now. Whereas this is like, I feel like I will always be able to objectively recognize how talented each of the band members are and how that comes together to create such a solid album. You know, like, not only is it something that I enjoy subjectively through my own music taste, but I feel like it's something I enjoy objectively through the instrumentation, especially the cohesiveness of Levy, Bloom, and Pulling Teeth, and even, I guess, the rest of the album too, to an extent, in the way all the songs play off of each other. I mean, everything here just sounds so polished and refined. And if you'd have told me that this was like the band's first release of truly hitting their stride, I wouldn't believe you, because it feels like the sound feels solid. So it feels like something they've been doing for a long time rather than just now getting it together, you know? But no, I love this. I'm definitively an Of Mice and Men fan now with this. I'd liked a couple songs before, but I think every track on here is fantastic.
This year was the first year that I really decided to give Of Mice and Men a chance. Every time you guys had teased them to me before, I really wasn't feeling it. And I think that kind of persists. As much as I enjoyed this album, outside of Obsolete and Pulling Teeth, I don't think I have listened to any other song on this album like more than 5 or 10 times. It's like Pulling Teeth and Obsolete are two absolute standout, fantastic metalcore songs, and I listen to the rest of the album and I'm like, damn, this is a really good album, and then I never listen to it again. And I feel like there's a connection between that and why it took so long for me to really get into this band. Every time you guys teased them for me in the past, it just wasn't clicking with me. And it's not that it's bad. I really can't explain it. It's just Pulling Teeth and Obsolete do something for me that every other song on this album doesn't. I will give an honorable mention to Echo for... I've said it in the past with the other PEPs that they were consistently hitting 1 out of 3. If I had to pick one out of the last 3, it is Echo being the hit. But still, a song that I haven't spent really that much time with. After the first week of it being out, I went back to it like once or twice. That's about it.
I think what's cool about this album is you can like break it into segments and listen however you want.
Yeah.
Like, personally, the way I would order this album is the Bloom EP, then the Timeless EP, and then the Echo. I guess I'm gonna call it the Echo EP, even though it's not really an EP.
Yeah.
But the last 3 songs. Oh, sorry, no. I would do Bloom, then Echo, then Timeless. That's what I would do. Because I just like Anchor as a closer. And I think Anchor is the best song on this. And it took me a while to realize that, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, Echo for me is the strongest song on here. I think Anchor's a close second. I'm a really big fan of the Helplessly Hoping cover too. Maybe not necessarily as like an individual track, but just as a closer. I also think that reordering the album, it would work well as an interlude. So I agree with you. I think actually having that Rain open the album, I think would also be pretty cool with Levy. So having the Bloom EP first, I hadn't really explored that idea. I'd have to go listen to it. But
I'm gonna say no for the Helplessly Hoping interlude.
You think it's better as a closer than as an interlude?
Honestly, I would scrap it altogether.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I'm not hurt at all. No.
That's my pride, Al.
Yeah.
Al. I actually never listened to that song until after the top 10 albums episode, and finally got around to listen to it. And probably one of my favorites on the album.
It's done really well. I really enjoyed it, but all that to say that Of Mice and Men put out a damn good album here. I'm more than happy with this. I think that even if there's not a whole album to love for, me, there's at least individual singles or songs here that I feel like are very enjoyable. Something more accessible, maybe like a Fighting Gravity or Heavier with Mosaic or literally anything off the Bloom EP. Yeah. No,
piece by piece.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's my favorite moment. I think Obsolete is my favorite song in here, but that ending of Pulling Teeth is like, goddamn, bro.
Yeah.
That's never gonna get old.
Just keeps going slower and slower.
Yeah.
Go check out this album if you haven't already. Top 10 album of 2021 for me.
And check out the
Fantastic.
top 10 albums episode for more.
Facts. Speaking of another top 10 album of 2021 for some people, Siamese have
For some
dropped
people.
their new album, Home. It was for some people. It was not for me,
Yeah.
people. It was a top 40 album of 2021 for me, but still a good album.
I listened to this album for the first time. I got 45 seconds into this album. 45 seconds into Heights Above.
And you
I
busted a
knew.
nut.
No.
Oh,
I
knew.
thought he said minutes. I was really confused.
I knew from 45 seconds into Heights Above, after I hear that, what are we fighting for? And hearing that riff, that I was about to listen to a top 10 album of 2021. And boy, did they deliver on that promise. Even knowing half of the album is singles, I was still just blown away from the entire album experience. It helps that some of the songs are quite old. I mean, Home and Can't Force the Love were over a year old at this point. And then the other singles like Enough Ain't Enough and Rather Be Lonely were much earlier in the year. So as much as we did get like half of this album as singles, it still felt somewhat fresh for me. And they were spread out enough in the album to not feel like it was bogging down the album listening experience for me. And then it gets to the end and it closes with Sloboda.
Fellas, Sloboda. Hear me
I
out.
believe in Sloboda supremacy.
Hear me out. Isn't it just one of the best songs ever released last year? That was criminally underrated.
Yeah, between recording the top 10 albums episode and this one, I have vouched it from a top 50 song of 2021 to a top 20 song of last year. And approaching top 15, approaching top 10 territory in all honesty.
And see,
Holy shit, dude.
there's a good thing and a bad thing about it being the closer and a single is because it had that same kind of mentality of the holding absence. No, not holding absence. Imminence of it. You know, you didn't want to listen to it because it's the closer.
You fell
Um,
for the pressure, though.
Wait,
I didn't.
this released as a single, yeah?
Sloboda
This
did.
was the last single, yes.
I'm so glad I didn't listen to it.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
too.
glad.
Yeah, if I had heard Sloboda, well, honestly, it's a double-edged sword for me, because if I had heard Sloboda in November when it released, I think my top 10 singles might have been different.
That's what
But
I'm saying.
I
is,
also
like,
think it might have like made my listening experience of the album for the
Mm.
first time completely different.
no,
And
you
I'm
guys played it
grateful.
smart.
I'm grateful that I am in this reality as much as I would have loved to have heard that song as like a top 10 single of the year. Having that first listening experience with Sloboda as the closer was magical. I have no other way to put it.
The music video as well, with just the drone shots
yeah.
and the atmosphere for it is fantastic.
It caps off the album in such a nice note. I mean, the album is named Home for a reason. Then Sloboda closer, Sloboda means freedom. So the chorus goes like, "Freedom, my son," I think is what the translation comes out to.
It is
And having-
freedom,
Yeah.
my son.
And having that as the closer on an album named Home just feels very fitting, you know? Ending an album entitled around like your home, where you live, your identity in a way, what you associate yourself with, and ending with that idea of freedom just is really powerful. On top of how fucking powerful that song is on its own, just the ambience and cinematic, just everything that goes into Sloboda, it's a masterpiece of a song. At this point, I can confidently say my second favorite closer of 2021, only behind Lullaby from that Against the Current EP.
Now this really begs the question of where this was produced at. Was this before they went to wherever they went to finish the rest of the album? So I remember they went They had that lull of like nothing coming out for the album, and this was during the original release date back in October, because during the summer they were still finishing up the album. And I wonder if this was before or after that point, because the instrumentation is definitely different from like Can't Force the Love, but it's still its own good.
Yeah. To switch gears a little bit, I think the biggest flaw in this album is the track that comes right before Sloboda. Joga? I don't know however you pronounce it.
It's Joga.
It feels like the weakest track on this album for me by quite a big margin. It, compared to all the other non-singles, which all have very memorable moments, like the chorus of Past the End and Erase My Mind, the build-up of Honest, Heights Above and being just a fantastic opener, Joga doesn't do anything for me, really. It's a fine song. I mean, like, Siamese leveled the fuck up. This album is insanely better. It's such a big step up from Superhuman. But even still, Joga feels very underwhelming to me. The chorus doesn't really hit all too hard. I think I would enjoy this album more if it just went from Past the End into Swoboda, to be honest. I think you could remove Joga from this album and my experience wouldn't change very much.
I'm gonna go against that and say that without Joga, you get kind of a more similar experience. I think Joga needed to be on the album to give a different, type of feeling that this band could put out. And it's good to know that they can put out very slow, very atmospheric songs.
Well, I think that's what
like
they did with
Joga.
Honest earlier in the album. I think
Yeah, but I like this better than Honest.
I like Honest better than Joga, so you're wrong, and I'm wrong.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
right.
I wonder which two people here had this in their top 10 albums of the year, guys.
Great question. I think the last thing that I'll mention here, I mentioned it in the top 10 album episode when it got brought up, but you know that you have an amazing album when you have a Rory Rodriguez feature and it's a bottom 3 song on the album. Like that is a Rory Rodriguez is an elite feature that you can get, and it's a fine feature. Like, there's nothing wrong with the feature. I think that more so just says how much I believe in and appreciate everything else on this album. When even Rory Rodriguez can't carry a song beyond the bottom 3 of this album for me. Justin, any last thoughts?
Nope.
He's got it all out.
Nope.
I think I've
Well,
had it all out too.
no,
so-
never
Okay.
mind.
Wow.
I finally thought up a thought.
After such a confident nope, too.
That's how my confidence goes. The Drew York feature, we gave it a lot of shit when they were originally released. Now that the album's out, I feel like it's better
I don't remember.
than we gave it
A lot of
credit
shit.
for.
I just know I don't like Drew York. I don't know if we give the feature a shit review, but I don't
think we
remember.
gave it-
so-
No, yeah, we gave Drew York shit, but now
Well,
We believe
the
in Drew
feature
York's
also sounded very different from what Siamese did in the past.
yeah.
But now with the album in mind, now fits fairly well. And honestly, the Can't Force the Love, I think, doesn't fit a lot of the album at this point, but
Yeah,
it's still good. So
It's
it
still
gets
the
a
second
pass.
best song on this album behind Swoboda, so
So it gets the pass.
yeah, I get the pass. Alright, with that now, are there any last comments? For real this time.
Good album.
I will
Thank you,
second the
Jacob.
good album comment.
Thank you, Derek. Well then, boys, that wraps up our December recap.
And 2021.
And 2021, wow. What a year.
We
Thank you,
did it.
Jacob. We did it. The first full year of the Hivemind recap podcast is
Oh
complete.
shit, true.
Wow.
While we were working on that, I wanted to drum up some interesting statistics. And funnily enough, the December recap didn't have the least amount of songs talked about. I think
Really?
our January or February, because January was 56. Yeah, February was 57.
Huh.
Because
So-
Architects decided to flex.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
as they do. Arcaflex.
Yeah.
Yeah, December was like it was. I said at the beginning of the episode, it was like an enigma of a month. It's one of the. It's like a strange in between period of like transitioning from one year to the next. But bands are still releasing new music, and you kind of want to treat it as such and not let like the timing affect you. But it's kind of hard to not let the timing affect you, you know.
Well, I mean, again, there were some big names that dropped songs, but a lot of the stuff this year, smaller artists, and I think that that's a really good way to end off the year and send it off into the new one. You know, with the most promising acts of 2021. Now we get to see what they do in 2022. So,
We still got some time, so I want to jump up the question for everyone here. What albums are we looking forward to this year?
As of now, my top two are Bad Omens and Future Palace. If I had to pick a third, there's definitely a gap down from there, but it's some combination of Short Stack, Varsity, and Led by Lanterns. One of those three, which we're all going to be talking about those three in the next 2 months. So there's a lot of good stuff coming early 2022. I'll say that much, at least for me.
I've got a list.
oh, let's hear it.
Boy.
As long as it's not 8 gajillion ones long.
Valiant Hearts, Varsity, written by Wolves, Wolves of the Gate, Hardest, Speech Patterns, wherever the fuck that decides it wants to come out. Painting Promises, I think, has something coming out. CANTERVICE, I believe, as well. I don't know. 2022, I just fucked.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick a top 5 in this order, it would probably be Emarosa. Well, actually, no, I'll go 5 to 1. Probably Rain City Drive, Stand Atlantic, Dance Gavin Dance, Garden, Emarosa. I'm really excited to get new Emarosa. After the Peach Club dropping being my favorite album of all time, I think that I'm really ready to see what the next step in that discography is.
Are you excited for the Bradley Walden single?
Yes, this Friday.
Yeah.
God bless.
I am looking forward to Bring Me, hoping there is an EP this year. I think there is.
I think there is. I think it's all but confirmed.
Oh shit. Bad Omens, probably my most anticipated album at the moment.
Yep.
I don't know what else. There's like, I know like The Word Alive, Fit for a King.
Just Dayseeker.
Dayseeker too. There's another one that said they were in the studio that I can't think of at the moment.
Some sleeper picks, Until I Wake and Conquer Divide.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
I just put Derek in shambles, dude.
I'm kicking Rain City Drive off the list. I think
Oh,
Until I Wake needs to
no.
get on there. Until I Wake. I need that Until I Wake album, bro. That's Sleeper AO2I. Cutting It Close ain't sticking with me, man. I need something more from Rain City Drive. I need 2 more singles to sell me.
You only needed one to sell you on Until I Wake, huh?
Yeah.
Already a tubby.
That's
Maybe-
really how it goes, man.
Maybe some Polaris or Chelsea Grin. I don't know. Oh,
Ooh.
The Devil Wears Prada is the other one I was thinking of.
Yes, that's out this summer.
That's what I thought.
Chelsea Grin's got an album coming this year. I'm pretty sure they were in the studio last year. There was some tweet like it, so maybe new Alpha Wolf. Hope to God. there's
Memphis
no
May
new
Fire?
Hearts Wake.
Uh,
Well,
Paul-
I'm at this point. I'm like,
Okay, fair enough.
Paul Bartolome. Their
Ooh, yes, that's
their
a good
album.
one.
That could be a good sleeper.
Um,
But-
Bless the Fall and Icy Stars.
Did you see that Bless
For
the
the
Falls?
third
I
year
think it was their singer and drummer or something have a new project out.
Yes, I heard about that.
Or I guess it's coming out January 10th, so we'll see. Letters Sent Home debut album ? That would be nice. I'd like
Motionless
that.
in White.
Yeah, sure.
Against the current?
We're just getting the second part of that EP, right?
Maybe. But supposedly the two EPs combine into an album, so like
Oh fuck! Is that cheating at that point? Do we
it might be. It
across
might be.
years? We'll see. We'll see. We'll make that determination based on whether or not we need more space on our album of the year list at the end of the year.
Lots of good stuff to look forward to as we head into 2022. We'll be recapping it all at the end of every month, so be sure to follow us on social media at Hivemind Radio _ on Instagram and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify. Lots of good stuff to look forward to, and we'll be there to discuss it all as it drops throughout the year. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Justin, Derek, Jacob, any last comments before we wrap it up?
Shout outs to listeners. Thank you guys so much. Seriously.
For real.
Yes, thank you. Happy New
We're getting
Year.
so close to
Happy
like
New
year
Year.
2 of Hivemind,
Yeah.
and it's fucking wild the plans we've got.
I think we leave it at that.
Absolutely.
Big things coming for the Hivemind. Once again, thank you for listening. Have a good one.
Happy New Year.
Hey!
Bye-bye.